Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. I'm Phil. I'm here with Ant. How are you, Ant?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Happy New Year to you.
Oh, and to you, sir, and to you. You keeping well?
I'm keeping well, mate. Yeah, keeping well. Looking forward to some FA Cup action this weekend, boys. You know, the cup competition that all the top teams really don't want, and it's just a massive inconvenience.
I know the one. Mike, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Yes, yes. I won't say Happy New Year because I'd like to think we're past that now. In fact, I tend to insist by the third, really, we should all grow up and stop saying it.
Cheerful then. And what are you eating?
A tomato and ham flatbread
Oh gosh.
with saucy sauce.
What? Sorry?
Saucy sauce. It's from Heinz. It's a bit like burger sauce without the gherkins. It's sort of a mixture of tomato ketchup and mayonnaise.
Okay. Flatbreads. Are these the sort of things that are like folded in half in the pack?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Right. I had my first flatbread this week, and it was horrendous. I don't understand. Well, I bought some hummus to dip it in, Moroccan style hummus, and some
That was your
flatbread
first mistake. Absolutely vile stuff.
they didn't have any pita bread, so I had to get flatbreads.
Yeah.
Then I ate one flatbread, dipping it into the hummus, and it was like chewing card. So then my colleague told me I should toast them. Thanks for letting me know. So I toasted two of them for a long time. One of them snapped in half. One slipped off my plate. The other burnt me. So both eventually went on the floor, and then the other one was toasted so much it was effectively a very hot cracker. I don't know what the hype is about flatbread. What's wrong with pita?
It's a workman blaming his tools there, Phil. But we'll move on. What have we got lined up? What have we? Oh, before we say what we've got lined up, what did you get for Christmas?
Hang on, before we go there. Whilst we're talking about workmen blaming tools, this is a raw version of the podcast because there's no intro music. There'll be no outro music. There's no soundboard, no sound effects. Please don't turn off if you just tune in for those. Because I cycled in today in hail and very, 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 very wet rain, and my laptop, unfortunately, was in a bag, got wet, and my MacBook is now under a heater trying to dry out. So not great. So I'm just on the phone, which is why I might be slightly echoey. Apologies. So unfortunately no special effects this week, but hopefully the laptop will dry out and work, because otherwise it's a very expensive mistake.
It's good though. We've got a number of people watching along on the socials, and they, when they look at you, are seeing the most manliest of backdrops. It's
Yeah, look at the weights.
Some kind of
my weights.
Some kind of weights in the background, as well as rows and rows of belts that you've made with your
many belts. So many belts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they genuinely are my weights, but I bought them to do sort of twice a week as a workout at lunchtimes, which I did until I've done my back. So I should probably not do those right now.
Well,
so hit me up with Christmas chat then, Mike, because we haven't been on since before Christmas, and this is really sort of it's been too long, but this is really a sort of catch up before next week's preview show. So how was your Christmas, Mike?
It was okay, thank you. Yeah, it was all right. I got Will Young tickets.
Oh, that's rolling back the years.
Oh, very excited. So you say rolling back the years. He's still having number one albums these days. What a guy, Will Young. Very excited.
What chart?
Gotta wait till what chart? The actual chart.
Oh, right.
The Pepsi Top 40, whatever it's called. Yeah. So, Will Young tickets, and I treated my wife to an electric Era.
Oh, she's so lucky.
To a what?
Electric Era.
I suppose it must be what it sounds like.
Yeah, so basically, it's basically like a portable radiator.
Oh my goodness!
With a cover.
And she actually wanted this.
Oh, does it blow air into it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I've seen them. Yeah.
She was giddy. She was giddy with excitement.
Are they expensive?
Yeah, about £100, a bit more than that actually.
Wow.
So not since I bought her some smart electrical plugs have I seen her so giddy on Christmas Day.
So just to clarify, you got Will Young tickets and she got a domestic item that will actually benefit all of you.
To help her hang up the laundry.
Benefit me, mate. I don't do the laundry. It won't benefit me in the slightest.
Unbelievable.
Oh, if I said that to my wife.
What about you, Anne? What was the best Christmas present you got, or indeed gave?
Well, I'm not a Will Young fan, so I did not get any Will Young tickets. However, I think I'm showing my age here, boys, because I did get the standard socks, pajamas, aftershave, chocolate.
Simple presents for a simple man.
Well, thank you, Phil. I mean, I don't know about you boys. You do get to a certain age in life, and you can't actually think of anything you want. So I didn't actually want anything. So I'm
think
very
of so many things. I thought of so many things.
I haven't wanted anything for years.
Yeah, I said I don't want anything. You're fine. Buy a goat for a family in somewhere.
Did you get a goat?
No, I got 2 UNICEF emergency boxes were delivered to families instead, which is good.
Hero.
But my wife did buy me a 4.5 kilogram bar of Toblerone, which I'm yet to open for fear of starting it.
Can you please start it on the next pod? That would be incredible.
Maybe, yeah, if we record it, I'm at home. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think each triangle of the Toblerone is 13 servings.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
What was the best present you gave?
Who, me?
Yeah, other than a goat.
I didn't give it. Well, yeah, I got my wife Bastille tickets.
Oh wow!
She likes.
What, when Will Young's in town?
Yeah, afraid so. So I got my wife Bastille tickets. I also got. I haven't ever done this. Most husbands or boyfriends have fallen in this trap before, but I got actual Uggs, which I thought would be a treat. But of course, they're very, very expensive, and then. Right. She doesn't want to wear them because it's been slightly raining, and that will ruin these very expensive shoes that can't cope with rain. So they're still in the box for a dry but cold day that isn't muddy. Perfect conditions.
I famously, amongst my friends and colleagues, I famously bought a pair of Ugg boots for my now wife for Valentine's Day. And we hadn't been dating very long, but I spent £200 on these Ugg boots. And she finished with me that afternoon, and off she went to her house with her Ugg boots. I didn't get a present.
Unbelievable.
Warm feet though. Now. So,
well, I didn't get warm feet. She took them with her.
Oh yeah.
She dumped me, and then went off with the present, having obviously knowing she was going to finish with me.
She's a wise woman.
It's outrageous. Anyway, let's quickly, before we go through our half-term review, it's going to be a rapid-fire half-term review of each team as we work our way through the league. Phil, you lost the first game week.
Apparently so,
we don't need to go into loads of detail about how we got. It's gone, guys. But what hasn't gone is the need for prizes in our hamper. So what are you putting in the hamper?
Well, I mean, I can sum up that game week as the 3rd week in a row where I had 7 or less players available to me. So I am putting into the prize hamper.
We've already got belts in there.
They're not belts.
What is it?
It's Taking a Hit, The Key to Success by Paul Rogers.
Is that a book you got for Christmas that you don't want?
No, it's not. I bought it especially for this because Paul's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy on Twitter.
Oh, Paul from Twitter, yes. I did see this.
Cardiff City fan. And I thought, well, the people who are going to win this hamper are going to be fancy football players, so they might want a book and take some advice from Paul. And he's done extensive research into various aspects of the game. So, good thick book there from Paul Rogers. So that'll be in the prize hamper.
Lovely addition. And then the following week, Ant, you lost.
Well, let's just give him a moment in the sun. He has not had a good week for the whole year. So on that week that I lost, he finally had a good week, and then we didn't do a pod.
Yeah, 63 points I got on Boxing Day, boys, which is, I think, the second highest I've had all season. Imagine that. And so then, through giddy excitement, I thought it'd be a good idea because you boys played your free hits, didn't you, Boxing Day? Didn't work out for you at all.
Correct.
So I decided to copy you and do my free hit the following week and got 29 points. I mean, what's the point? Like, virtually everybody didn't play. It was the week Salah missed his penalty and then missed the rebound. Yeah, nobody played that boy, and it was hilarious. I think I had 6 or 7 players out, hence why I played the free hit. And then the 6 or 7 I bought in didn't play either. Good times.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah. As for a prize, boys, I don't know yet. I mean, I was thinking more milk choose, but after Phil's book, it feels like it would be a bit of a dampener, that one. So I'm gonna have a think. I will announce on Twitter what I'm gonna put in. I want to put in something good this time, something that isn't either a motorsport book or food
or milky.
Yeah, I'll have a think, boys. I'm gonna come up with something half decent.
Okay. All right. So look, guys, I've kind of come up with a bit of a plan for a half-term review. We're going to take each team. We're going to look at who their star man is statistically. we're going to look at the best value pick, and we're also going to just point out any traps that might be within that team as well, because some players look good, maybe on the with the eye test, but actually when you delve a little deeper, maybe ones to avoid. So I should
point out at this point that I have no access to any computer or anything, so I'm working purely from memory here.
Don't worry, because look, I'm sharing it with you, so we're
cool.
all good.
We do know what your memory's like as well, Phil.
Oh, so I'll tell you what isn't big on a standard telephone screen: a whole screen share. Wow.
Good job, your eyes are so good.
There's some red dots there. That's all I can see. I'll just listen because it's nice that you've done some research for once. So
I've done no research. No, it's very much on the fly. So let's look at Arsenal first of all. Statistically, I can tell you that the best player is the player with the most points, and that is.
Is that the same for all the teams?
Yes.
Cool.
So Bukayo Saka at 93 points is 5 points ahead of the second most statistically best player, and that's Emil Smith-Rowe, despite a lack of minutes in the last 3 of the last 4 game weeks. He's come on with 24 minutes or less to play and has managed to score or assist. So even though he's coming off the bench, he's consistently bringing in points. But the last time he played 90 minutes was back in game week 13, would you believe? That was his last start.
Wow.
Crazy times.
And yet he's still their second highest points, Hawley. Yeah, so I've had him one of the few players. I mean, like you say, I kept going to take him out, but he kept 3 games running. He came off the bench and scored. So he's a bit of a strange one, Smith-Rowe, but he's certainly not first choice, is he?
That was annoying as well, because 3 games in a row, we text you when the team was announced, mocking you because he was benched. And 3 games in a row, he came off and scored, which was disappointing. I would say the biggest trap for Arsenal is Saka, even though he's the highest scoring player. I just never get any joy with him.
He's been joyous for Mike. You've had him for quite a while. He's been excellent, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the last 5 game weeks he's returned. So and for a player of value of 6.4 million, I think that there aren't many better value players out there. Full stop. So I can't have him as a trap, Phil. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. My player from Arsenal would be Ramsdale. I think if you go in Arsenal, get Ramsdale. If you only have one.
To think Arsenal fans were moaning when they signed him that they were too good for him. He wasn't good enough for them. He'd had successive relegations with Bournemouth and Sheffield United. And look at him now. He's a massive fans' favourite.
Yeah, and he fits my. We haven't done a podcast since. I've made the decision to have a friendly team only. So people who misbehave, I'm getting rid of them, and people who are gnarly, I'm getting rid of them. So Foden gone. Thanks for the memories, but you can't have that behaviour, off the pitch and then stay in my team. Rudiger is on his way out because he is a wind-up merchant, and he's always dirty. He's always trying to get in a fight. And against Liverpool, every time Chelsea had an attack, he was holding Mo Salah back. They never talked about it on TV, but if you watch carefully, he's just pulling Salah back just to irritate him. So Rudiger's gone. I'm only putting in nice people, and Ramsdale fits the bill. He's constantly smiling. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at his starts, he came into play at game week 4. So out of 17 game weeks, he's had clean sheets in 9 of them. Also big on save points as well. So, I would agree that he's probably best value. Although I would also, if we're looking at maybe later on into the season, you have to take a look at Odegaard as well. Odegaard is still only 5.6 million. Is on a lot of their set pieces.
He's had three returns in the last 5 weeks as well. He's looked really good again. And Arsenal suddenly creeping up the league, aren't they? Again, had such a slow start. Arteta's job felt like it was on the line, and all of a sudden, Arsenal actually looked quite good.
Yeah,
even in defeat against Man City last weekend, they were very, very unlucky. So one to account for. Some tough games come out for them. They've got Spurs, haven't they, next? So
what are their fixtures?
Oh, I've moved on, guys. I've moved on.
Oh, okay, cool. See, to me, that still looks like Arsenal, but each their own.
No.
Just really quickly, Tierney, he's back in the team. What are your views?
I like him.
He did very well for Ant this week.
Boxing Day as well. He scored against Norwich. Yeah, he's been one of the very few players this season I've bought in and has actually done something, and he's good value as well.
Mike, are you on your wild card?
Of course he is.
No, I've already done that.
What is your second one?
I did my wild card. Yeah, I've played my second wild card already.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Long gone.
Okay, cool.
Right, let's talk about Aston Villa then. Otherwise, we'll never finish the pod. So highest statistically is Martinez, nowhere near the form he had last season, but 68 points. So that's a really low kind of highest score, 68.
Yeah.
At 5.5 million. Who's been their best value, do you think, so far this season?
Well, Villa have been very scattergun, haven't they? They've had players who've had amazing weeks and then gone back into. Yeah, I remember Mings got like 15 points, and then Ings will occasionally, pop up with a goal, and you'll get someone random like Buendia who'll get a haul and then get 2. So Villa, which is why they've all got such, even Martinez, it's not a particularly high amount of points, is it? So, no one is standing out from Villa. Ings, if he gets a run, I think can do a job. He's still captain in my daughter's team, who got, I think, twice as many points as Ant's free hit this week, and she had Dallas on the bench. But
you love sticking that knife in.
Well, you've gone ahead of her, so chin up.
Thanks, mate. Patronising.
But Villa is all. What's their fixtures like, Mike?
Their fixtures, let's have a look. I will just tell you, I was just having a quick look at Ollie Watkins, because for me, he's the biggest trap.
Yeah, agreed.
He's only scored 1 goal in the last 5 games. But if we look at his fixtures, let me tell you. They play Man United at home on the 15th. Then comes a really nice run of fixtures, to be fair. Everton away, Leeds home, Newcastle away, Watford home, Brighton away, Southampton home. So they might be a team to get on after this weekend.
What about young Jacob Ramsey, boys? 4.6 million. He's come into the team. He scored that really good goal, didn't he, against Norwich, where he took it from the halfway line, ran the length of the pitch and scored. Cheap. Well, he's getting in the team. He's getting minutes now.
He certainly is getting minutes. He started the last 5 games.
Could he be a good differential?
I think he's someone you put in if you've not got much money and you need a 5th midfielder. He did score that goal, and then I put him in instantly.
Oh, and chasing last week's points.
I was, and the game was cancelled, which serves me right. But in the games I've watched since, he actually isn't that attacking.
Okay.
Don't know. I think at that kind of money, he's definitely an option, especially with those fixtures coming up.
Yeah, with those fixtures, I'm going Ings or Mings.
Alrighty.
Or both. Ings, Mings. I mean, for me, just quickly, Buendia has been the big one, the big disappointment this season for Villa. I thought he was he a record signing in the summer from Norwich? I thought he was going to do really well, and he's never really got going this season at all, has he? Just 49 points and just 1% ownership as well.
Talking of big signings,
disappointment.
You seen who they signed today?
Oh, it's gone through, is it? Oh, Coutinho.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coutinho.
Wow, I mean, he's going to be in everyone's teams all of a sudden, isn't he? Be interesting to see how much he is in the game. But I mean, that's an incredible signing for Villa.
Yeah, what price is he going to be in the game, do you reckon? 9? 8.5?
8.5, I reckon.
Yeah, 8.5, 9. I mean, how long has he been? When did he leave Villa? Liverpool? 3 years ago, was it now?
Longer ago than that, mate.
Was it? Yeah, it's been quite a while. So, be interested to see how he adapts back into the Premier League. But
how much was he?
Great signing.
How much was
he?
Loan.
On loan. Oh, that's a bonus. But I would go. I'd suggest he's probably the Grealish replacement that they didn't get in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
shout. It's a statement signing as well.
Coup, isn't it? Real coup for them.
Yeah, it's good. All right, let's move on to Brentford then. And we look at the person with the most points there. Again, a low score of just 64. And that is Pontus Janssen.
Oh.
Wow, that's surprising.
If we're talking about traps, Ivan Toney's got to be the one, isn't he? I mean, yes, he's second in their points, but has he really returned much for Brentford this season? I would suggest not.
No,
not particularly in the games you'd kind of hope. I mean, I had him for the first sort of 10 games, and it was very frustrating, very, very frustrating.
He's if we look at the last 15 game weeks, he's only scored more than 2 twice.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
If I could compare him to a Christmas item, before Christmas, when our Christmas was kind of cancelled because we had a false positive on my daughter's test, so we missed both our sort of big family Christmas days, but we'd bought all the buffet items for it, so we've indulged. But I bought some pickled eggs, and they seemed like a great idea at the time. I've popped a couple of them, but they really didn't go down as well as expected, and that is Ivan Toney is therefore a pickled egg for me.
Let me tell you where those pickled eggs are right now. They're in my fridge.
You didn't. They're a gift.
A gift? You did that on purpose.
Some open pickled eggs.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks for that.
If you're gonna have eggs on a buffet, I would suggest curried. But
no.
That's me.
Oh,
Can we move on?
Scoop them out. Scoop out the yolk. Mix with a little bit of curry powder and mayo. Pop them back in. Jobs are good.
No.
Anyway, Brentford. So Janssen has at 4.6 million as their defender has hauled the most points. He's played 90 minutes in every single game so far this season. So that will contribute a fair bit to, him being the top guy there.
How many games have there been?
20. They've played 20 because they've
so you get
one game.
40 just for playing. 40 just for playing, and then the odd clean sheet or something, I suppose.
Yeah.
I still think they've been good this season, Brentford. I think they had that wobble. They seemed to recover from that, didn't they? They had a good win last time out. And in terms of assets, I mean, Rico Henry was one you had before he got injured, wasn't he, Mike? And he done well for you, but obviously he's been out for quite a few weeks now, and the same with him and Buemo as well. But other than that, Ivan Toney was a big disappointment for me, especially when he's there at 6.6 mil. No, thank you.
Let's move on then. Oh, and Buemo, he's struggled with injury the last few weeks, hasn't he?
Just saying,
he has. Move on. Gosh, move on to another team who are in a similar area in the table.
Mopey!
Yes. It's our old friend Trossard at the top of the league. Yes, indeed. Leandro Trossard, 70 points. Again, not a particularly high-scoring team in the game. Very closely followed by Ansfred Mopey on 68.
I do miss. I don't miss it actually. Every week he scores, you boys, with your Mopey with 6 Ys on the end every time he scores. Oh, I do love that.
On just out of interest, on your screens, gents, is my head just bouncing up and down in a frozen position? Because that's all I can see.
No, it's there in all its glory.
At the moment, so you can see me move left and right, because at the moment I can see what looks to be me on a very vigorous pogo stick.
Yeah, it looks like you've got a weight going into your head at the moment.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Phil. But I would say it needs a little trim around the ears, the hair now. But that's.
Honestly, I couldn't believe the length of my my ear hair the other week. It was.
I wasn't talking about in your ears. I was talking around your ears.
You could nearly plait it. I don't know where that came from. I trim fairly regularly.
Okay.
So statistically, the best player has been Leandro Trossard. He also is cheaper than Neil Mopey. So
is he? How much is he?
But their midfielders do tend to be cheaper than strikers. He's 6.1.
Okay.
But in terms of perhaps a rising star, I'm starting to see where Phil's coming from with Cucurella.
As am I. Not only
lovely
hair.
Lovely delivery.
I believe
delivery for the Brentford game.
I might be wrong because I'm not near a computer, but I believe he didn't start the season at Brighton. I don't know what game week he came in. It was fairly maybe 4.
Came in a game week 4. Yeah,
4. I believe that 4 times he's got the maximum bonus points in a game. So that's 12 points that you wouldn't have got.
Well,
and it's a good stat. It could be made up because I can't see the screen.
It's absolutely correct. It's
there you
spot
go.
on.
Yeah, and he every time they get a clean sheet, he's also created chances. So he's high up on the bonus points.
Yeah, getting forward well and good delivery. So I maybe think he's one to look at in terms of a trap.
And Mopey for you was a trap, wasn't he?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, literally either side of me having or him being in my team, he's done really well. So before he was in my team, he did well. Brought him in, did nothing. I think he got dropped around that time. And then I took him out, and then he scored pretty much every week since. So yeah, he's definitely been a trap for me. Maybe not for others who've had him in at the right time, but yeah, I mean, when I've seen him play, he's looked decent. I don't understand what happened in those games. Maybe it's just done to annoy me. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, if you look recently, he's certainly been in the points 8, 9, 6, 5. So he's definitely an option.
I'm going to go back on something that I said a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to flag up a trap. Tarek Lamparti.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm not so sure. Yeah, he's fast, and yeah, he looks quite dynamic on when you're just watching him. But actually, in terms of a fantasy football asset, he's had 1 assist in the 13 games that he's played. I'm not sure I'm buying it anymore.
He didn't come into game week 8, as you said, but he's been quiet, certainly after last season.
I don't think he actually assisted much last season either. I think he just runs really fast and looks like he's going to do something. Lovely smile, but I'm not sure, he's getting into my team anytime soon. Danny Welbeck?
No. Lord
good
Welbeck.
Header, good Chelsea, but no, not for me, Jeff.
I think he's an excellent finisher, but he's just so injury prone.
He is very injury prone. No.
Okay, I can see that through the glint of my eyes, the team is no longer wearing blue and white. So who have you moved on to, Mike?
That's great. We've moved on to. it's just one glamorous team to another. We've moved on to Burnley. Hopefully, as we move up the alphabet, things get a little bit more exciting. Burnley, their top point scorer has got 55, and that is Matty Loughton.
Good grief. I mean, a big thing for them now is Cornet, who's been their one shining star, really, isn't he? He's been brilliant. Is now off to the African nations, I believe. So they're going to miss him for 2 or 3 game weeks. So I think they're going to struggle to cope without him because the woodchopper, Phil, if you had him this season, he's not been in the goals, has he?
I've had him, and he's been let down by teammates and also his ability.
He's going to say he scored 3 goals this season, so he's doing well.
Not for me, he hasn't. I've insisted on keeping him. I captained him once in my fun league team. That didn't go too well. And watching him is infuriating because he does get opportunities, but I think they played against United and he just spammed one over off his forehead. That was a really good chance, and you think, he's got to go.
Spammed is a term I don't hear very often these days, unless it's in relation to email.
Well, imagine your forehead's made of spam and a ball hits it. It's just gonna wobble off it rather than firmly connect.
Is that why it's called spammed?
I mean, I don't believe anyone's ever said it before. I just did, but it's possible.
I feel like
trendsetter.
Every trend needs a setter, boys.
I feel like my 9-year-old brother, Phil Botto, would have used the word spam if we were up the rec playing with our mates.
I used to call people spam javelins. That was good. That was
I miss those days.
Spam javelins, cog butlers. I used to say sweet all the time when I was in year 6. I vaguely remember trying to impress my French teacher by when she said I got something right. I went sweet. Didn't impress her. Did not impress her. She was very pretty.
I wish I was as cool as you.
Ooh la la. If we were talking about traps from Burnley, I would say all of them. Is that fair? Just write them off as a team of traps.
Just look at the ownership, boys. I mean, they can't be a trap when nobody's got them, really, can they? I mean, what's the highest ownership?
Pope. But for Pope or Brownhill, I don't know why Brownhill's owned by 2.5%. But it's 4.3. I mean, there are better options in that price bracket. But outside of those two, any of them would qualify for our punt.
Yeah, amazing.
So
Cornet would be the one for me to keep an eye on once he comes back from the African nation because he has been really good.
Every time he plays, he's dangerous. Yeah, but I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Let's sex things up a bit, lads, and let's talk about Chelsea. Their highest point scorer has got 95.
Oh, hello, Mason Mount.
Is it Mason Mount? Is it? That's surprising. I thought it'd be a defender.
No, slow start he had, didn't he? Really slow start. Didn't really get going until about game week 9 when they beat Norwich 7-0. But he's back in the team and he's in the points, boys.
He is and he isn't. He's back in the team. The last four games, he's not scored or assisted, but he is getting the 90-minute run-outs. And in a team like Chelsea, you would like to think that there's always opportunities going to come his way. He's massively helped by the 24 points that he got at home to Norwich with his hat-trick. And I believe some assists as well.
Yeah. He's got the capability to haul, but he's not consistent. He should get more points because he's on a lot of their set pieces. And a lot of Chelsea's defenders are very, very, very tall. But,
double game week this week as well, boys. Man City away and then Brighton away. I think any temptation there from you boys to get him in?
In truth, I haven't
be the only one.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the fixtures. We'll do the preview pod next week, but I haven't looked. But when one of the fixtures is against Man City, it doesn't feel too much like a double game week to me.
I like Jorginho, lads, at 5.9 for the price. Couple of weeks in the last 5 or 6, he's come back with 15 points. So obviously on pens, and that's a big plus from his perspective.
What about Lukaku now? Without any other premium striker options? I mean, Kane's not doing much, is he? Ronaldo, I suppose.
Has the damage been done? I know he's apologised, but is that just going to rumble on and on? Do we think
that looked like a hostage video? It looked like there were people either side of him with guns. Yeah, very, very strange. and for him that would have been a horrible experience. And although he said those words, being forced to do that video is only going to make him want to leave more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, yeah, I can picture Thomas Tuchel and Bruce Buck either side of him with some machetes. Balaclava off and let's roll camera. Yeah, maybe. In terms of traps,
I'm tempted to say Alonso.
Yeah, it's a real shame because he started the season so well.
Yeah,
he got 15-6, then a 2, then a 5, then a 10. So, his haul after just the first 5 games was 38 points. Since then, he's played another 8, and he's only got 33. So
disappointing.
Yeah, it is a shame.
The player who I think's got potential second half of the season is Pulisic, who's getting game time now.
Yeah,
scored a great goal last week as well, didn't he?
I couldn't tell you. I can't remember what happened yesterday, but
against
probably.
Liverpool in the 2-2 draw. It's still only 0.7% ownership.
Oh yeah, that was a great game of football. Great game of football.
7.9 million.
Yeah, he started the last 5 games for them.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
that's a good shout.
That's Chelsea. Let's move on to Palace then. Crystal Palace, their top scorer, it may not surprise you to know, is Conor Gallagher.
Again, somebody I've had in my team twice and done nothing the 2 times he's been in my team. Other than that, he's been sensational. He's
another one that started the season so well, but actually, if you look at his last 8 game weeks, he's only returned more than 2 points once.
Wow.
That was a 15-point haul at home to Everton.
Feels like he's been better than that.
No. So started very well, but has tailed off. The one to watch, I think, is Usain Edouard.
Agreed.
I don't know if I have time to play you the clip that I filmed from Match of the Day.
The clip that you filmed from Match of the Day.
Yeah, I would like to play it back to you. Let me just see if I can find it. There were a couple of things I noticed during the Crystal Palace game. Jonathan Pearce was commentator. In fact, I have. I'll play
I do like Jonathan Pearce, bit of robot.
Well, I feel like he had a phrase and he was just determined to get it in there. This is the first goal for West Ham.
Beautiful ball in from side Bernardo. That's what they'll miss when he's away on international duty in Africa. Antonio had the hunger to get in there, that's for sure. That's his 9th of the season. What a beautiful cross. Whip, bend, he get there and put a foot on it, he'll score, and that's exactly what he did.
Okay, so basically,
You won't stop talking.
Sorry, that's me now.
Oh gosh.
So basically,
I'm glad. I mean, like I said, this is unedited this week, so yeah.
It's going well.
Yeah, apologies. So basically, what a cross! All he had to do was get his foot on it, and he'd score. Let's fast forward to Crystal Palace's goal. Usain Edouard.
Usain Edouard pokes Crystal Palace back into the game, or pokes in a consolation. We'll wait and see, but it's certainly deserved. Crystal Palace were patient, worked it from side to side. That's a lovely ball in again. Whipped in with pace. So all Edward needed to do was put his foot on it, which he did.
I mean, it's carbon copy, right? Absolute carbon copy from Jonathan Pearce there. Anyway, I really like Usain Edouard. I think he could be going into my team.
In that game, they missed so many chances. Palace. How they were 3-0 down at half time when they could have easily have had 5 goals by then.
Well, if you've got delivery where it just needs a touch and you'll score, then that's what will happen.
We'll get to Benrahma, but
But Christian Benteke, boys. I mean, he did so well in my team, didn't he? Again, somebody I brought in and then immediately got dropped.
He's your Chris Wood, to be honest.
Yeah, really is. Yeah.
Someone who, if he scores or gets a points haul at some point in the season, in our punt, frame yourself, always goes for Guehi. Every week, just same message. We'll go Guehi. If he gets him any points, regardless of punt, he can pick my captain next time. I'll be so happy for him because he is disappointed on so many occasions.
Yeah, no, but I really like Usain Edouard. I can't tell you enough. 6.4 million. I'm going to get on board with him.
And why
coming into my team?
Why doesn't he start Elise? If he gives Elise a run of games, then I'll get on him.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Comes on, makes a difference every time. But I think he probably will get game time because they've lost Ayew and Zaha and Kiyata. I mean, Kiyata is more of a defender, obviously, but Ayew and Zaha have both gone to AFCON. So you would think that Elise will now come in.
Who are they playing? Next couple of games?
Next couple of games, Brighton away, so the M23 derby. And then they play Liverpool. But after that, they've got Brentford and Norwich. So bit of a mixed bag. But yeah, I'm going to bring him in. Let's move on then to Everton. Oh dear, Everton.
Dear. Rafa's clinging on, isn't he?
Yeah, we had a lovely bit of excitement. Start of the season, Gray and Townsend. Oh, we were all getting on board with that, weren't we?
Oh, yeah, even chucking a Decore for a threesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah. This is the fancy threesome. 68 points is the biggest hauler, and that is Tamari Gray. It's gone pretty quiet for him in recent weeks. He's not started every game.
He's been injured, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was out of the team against Man City, against Brentford, and against Chelsea. 3 of the last 5 weeks he's not started.
But now Calvert-Lewin's back, he becomes more of an asset again, I think. Because
guess what?
He's just going to ping him in. Let me guess, you've got Calvert-Lewin in.
He missed the penalty.
Did you get him before or after he missed the penalty?
After. Well, before, before the game had started, but after the deadline had gone from the previous week. So he wasn't in my team. I brought him in, and then about 2 minutes later, he missed a penalty.
So you transferred him in knowing that the deadline isn't for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
And a lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But
Why did you do that then?
Well, because I like to sort of sit there smugly when everyone's like, oh, yeah, Calvert-Lewin. I'll be like, yeah, got him in.
How often have you been smug this season?
Oh, not very often, but, it'll turn.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. With Everton, I mean, I can't see them hanging on to Benitez for much longer. He's got to be up there in the sack race, doesn't he?
I think it's a big game, isn't it? They got the midweek game next week, haven't they? Home to Leicester? I think if they lose that, he's in a world of trouble.
Yeah, I think I have got Gray actually at the moment.
Well, Gray's
maybe because he's nice halfway through a double game week. Yeah,
nice double game week. One to watch, I would say this season is Digne, who has not been performing and has not been happy at Everton, but is almost certainly going to go to Chelsea.
Chelsea? I read Newcastle. Is he going to Chelsea? Is he?
Everyone's going to Newcastle, but no, he's going to Chelsea, I think. So,
when we talk about Newcastle,
let's talk about Leeds then. Rafinha is their top scorer, 84 points.
30 more than anyone else. He's been the one shining light. You've had him a lot, haven't you? He's done really well for you.
Love him.
Great player. Leeds have been a real disappointment there, bit of second season syndrome for them. Mm-hmm. Big win for them last time out though, but they'll be fine. I think there's 3 worst teams of them this season, but I don't think there'll be more than 5th or 6th bottom.
It was the first time they had their full strength back 4, so Dallas could go back into midfield. So Dallas last season was an asset because he scored I think 9 goals in the Premier League last year.
Yeah.
But he's been playing in defence this year, so if he can get back to being in midfield, that changes the shape of the Leeds team. And then obviously when Bamford can come back, my wife bought me a Patrick Bamford mug for Christmas. What a treat! Love that.
That's real love. That is.
But things can turn for Leeds very quickly. They're too good to go down.
Yeah, I should also mention they've no longer got their cock out. He is back. He's played the last 2 games. Wow. So
good.
That's Leeds. Let's move on to Leicester. Again, not massive scorers. Maddison, but in part, largely part due to the last few weeks.
That's an interesting way of shaping up a sentence.
But yeah, thanks. 82 points. He is their top scorer.
Is he? Wow. I mean, he has been the ultimate trap for me. In fact, Leicester always let me down in this game. They always flatter to deceive, but they're on a better run now, aren't they?
Mm.
Yeah, 56 of those 82 points have come in the last 5 game weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. See, it's the opposite with poor old Jamie Vardy, isn't it? If you look at his stats recently, he's gone right off the ball. I know he's had some injuries, but recently, only one really good haul, and that was getting back in game week 13 recently for him with 12 points there. Not really featuring in and out of the team at the moment. Again, when he was in my team, wasn't doing a great deal. So, and I think he's just too much money to keep him in your team now, isn't he? At 10.4.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. I think Maddison at 6.8, or sorry, 6.9 now, isn't he? It's good. 3 of the next 4 games are Everton, Burnley, and Brighton.
Do I remember you texting us around Christmas time with the word
yes.
Iheanacho?
Yeah, that was my big tip. Of course, he's gone to the African Cup of Nations. So I bought him in as part of my wild card, and have now swiftly transferred him out. Anyway,
bear in mind, Mike's beating me this season. This is just incredible.
Right,
one for me, boys. Just quickly, what about Ademola Lookman? Came on, scored the winner against Liverpool. I know he's not been featuring a great deal, but he's getting a little bit more game time now. Cheap as well, at 6 million and only 0.4% ownership. So a proper differential. Tempted by him, boys?
I'd like to see him start first.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Okay.
Well, that brings me to my second clip, which is a lot of fun. This is.
I hope it's as fun as the first one.
Oh, it's a good one. This is Robin Cowan.
Quite well.
Robin Cowan commentating on the Watford Spurs game, and she talks about something happened regularly, and it's like she goes all continental at the end. Listen carefully.
I think on a second.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Go on then. She skewed it up, but
I'm really sorry. I mean, it's going to be underwhelming. I think I was watching an episode of Elementary last night where someone was murdered called that.
Let's play the clip.
Anyway,
this is Robin Cowan, who says regularly and then goes. It's as if she goes all a bit continental and exotic.
Match with him and Kutska. We just don't see those sorts of challenges giving us penalties regularly.
Regular. It just really chuckled me. It cut away to a completely new clip, but nice. From regularly to regular. Anyway, Liverpool. We've got 9 minutes to do 11 teams, lads. Good luck. The top is statistically Salah, but I do understand a number of people have taken him out. He's only missed 2 game weeks.
He's only going to miss 2, boys. Keep him in. Keep him in.
Just like last season, lads, I've predicted a tail off, and I'm going to get it right. I dropped Salah at just the right time last season, and I think he's going to come back tired from Egypt. Not that he's in Egypt, Cameroon.
I need to bring this up. We might only have 9 minutes or however long it is, but if we talk about this for the whole 9 minutes, I don't care. In your free hit team, man.
Yes.
I see that you put Origi in, who was injured at the time. Why?
Well, yeah, because I'd run out of money.
But even
on my bench.
But even then, you could get someone cheaper than him and then improve your team elsewhere.
There is a reason, Phil, that I am at the bottom of the 3 of this.
I found it a wonderful decision.
I mean, the rest of my team, I would say, for the first time all season on paper looked quite good, but 29 points. There we go.
But you for a free hit, so you can do whatever you want. Free hit, you decided to transfer in an injured player who doesn't play even when he's not injured. I just find it enjoyable.
Just call me Mike.
Okay, cool.
I might be playing my second free hit this week, boys. There we go.
Exciting times.
Really?
So, let's just quickly
Steve's on his lunch. He'll be back in 10 minutes.
Exactly. So, let's talk about the fact that 2 of their top 4 point scorers so far this season are out. Mane and Salah. Opens the door for Jota to be their main man through the middle, I think.
Yeah.
He's 3rd on their list. Obviously, Trent is up there. I've now nudged Trent out and bought Robertson in just to try and shake things up a little bit.
Okay.
Because I've got to try and catch people, and I saved myself 1.4 million there at the moment. That was fun, actually, because I wild-carded Trent out when he was costing me 7.8, and then thought, actually, I better bring him back in. So I paid another 0.6 million to get him back in, and now I've transferred him out again. So that was a lot of fun, all in the process of 1 week.
I think we're seeing here why you're quite comfortably winning out the 3 of us this season.
I mean, and I've carried Chris Wood for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And you've carried not having any players for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's not been too fun either. But yeah, I mean, it's a long time to go, boys. Halfway through.
Yeah, plenty to play for. Cancelo is the top scorer for Man City, guys. Closely followed by Bernardo Silva, although Bernardo does appear to have dropped off in recent weeks.
He literally dropped off. I mean, he was attacked, wasn't he, in the box? So he dropped straight down to the floor. What a dive. Absolutely disgraceful.
Didn't see that.
Penalty.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I did see it. I did see it. Arsenal, I did see it.
Yeah,
he was on his way down. Bernardo's had his time.
There's only 2 players I'm looking at in Man City. They are
got to be
Ederson.
De Bruyne.
Ederson plays every week, And De Bruyne, yes.
Yes, had to be.
But he's so much money, 12 million.
He is, but he's so good.
That said, I spent more than 12 million on Harry Kane on a number of occasions this season. So,
how many clean sheets? How many clean sheets has Ederson got?
I don't know, and I don't have time to tell you.
It's quite a few, and for that price, you wouldn't get a
11.
midfielder returning 11. You wouldn't get a midfielder who's got 11 goals or a striker who's got 11 goals for that price. That's my point. So I think I might be getting him.
It's a great point. It's well made. Let's move on to Manchester United. Their top point scorer statistically.
I love you trying to say statistically.
Statistically.
Shut
your face. Let's go. Ronaldo, 82 points.
Oh, he loves getting angry this season, doesn't he? Throwing his arms up in the air. Like he just don't care.
Both him and Bruno can't make my team because they whinge.
They are so moany. So unbelievably moany. But hey, Ronaldo's still in the points. 12.5 million. We're talking about De Bruyne being 12. 12.5. You tempted, boys? Double game week this week?
No. You could save yourself £7.3 million.
Yeah.
And bring De Gea in. And you'd only lose 6 points in the process.
6 points.
One's a goalkeeper. One's
76 points. Okay. One is a goalkeeper. One is a striker. But I'm just saying, 5.2 over 12.5.
Yeah, I mean they've got different roles on the pitch. I suggest, but yeah, he's a lot of money. He's an extravagant purchase if you've got the money. He's, yeah. I mean, I was quite flamboyant buying pickled eggs. You know, as we discussed.
If you're going to buy a striker and you're going to go Man United right now in FPL, I'd be looking at Cavani. Started the last couple.
Oh, I love Cavani.
Old Ralphie's been talking him up.
Yeah, don't disagree.
Some good games coming up as well. Double game week, and then they've got Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, Watford.
He's just not regularly going to start. Actually, I take it all back. Yeah, it'd irritate you every time you got dropped. Don't bother.
Well, I think he starts over Rashford at the moment. I think he starts probably over Sancho, and I think he starts over young Kiddie Winkle.
Greenwood, who I was just about to suggest.
Okay,
he would be my offer.
He's not had much of a run.
Yeah, he's starting though. He's starting now.
We've got 4 minutes and we're at Newcastle. The highest points statistically, their top two, they're both out injured, Saint-Maximin and Wilson.
Joelinton's going to be the one though, isn't it? Was that a flash in the pan, that one game, or is he going to push further forward with those two injured? Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Joelinton is third on their points list with 37 points.
That's
He's the highest point scorer available in Newcastle right now that you could put into your team, has 37 points across the season.
Boys?
Well, no, Newcastle defensively not yet. We'll see who else they sign. I captained Joelinton in my Fun League team, and then the game got cancelled. But to be honest, I don't think it would have made much difference to my captaincy points.
Look, apologies to listeners who are looking for differentials on anybody alphabetically between Norwich and Wolves. But we're going to spend 30 seconds on each team. So just shout some names. Norwich, let's not bother, shall we?
Gilmore.
No, not Gilmore. The fans were booing him. Norwich fans were booing him. Apparently.
Wow. Yeah.
He's not happy there. So I wouldn't go for that. I wouldn't go with anyone from Norwich.
No, Southampton.
Oh, Ward-Prowse, is he?
Oh, JWP, mate. 6.3 million, 70 points. He's their top scorer so far. Livramento dropping off a bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I quite like Brozier as a third striker.
Doesn't start all the time.
No, he's been rotating him and Armstrong.
Great player, but I don't know why he's not starting. If he was starting regularly, everyone would have Brozier in their team, wouldn't they?
Do you mean regularly or do you mean regular? Because next up on our list are Spurs.
Wow.
And he sits third on that list. 76 points. Our top scorer, though, is Son.
Who I've got, but Spurs do look terrible. Against Chelsea the other night, they were so poor in comparison. They're just energy levels just couldn't keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Double game week, though, coming up, boys. And Son has been in the points, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He has.
6 returns on the trot for Son. He is flying.
I'm going to tell you now, the biggest trap in the whole game.
Dele Alli fell for it again this season.
No. Imagine 3 times now this season I've bought him in. 12.2 million on 53 pointed Harry Kane. Insane.
Indeed, yeah. Less than 10% ownership, which has got to be a first for FPL on him. But yeah, still not hitting the heights, is he, boys?
For a double game week.
Should have got that move in the summer.
To quote Cypress Hill, insane in the membrane, insane Harry Kane. Don't do it.
Don't
do it.
For a double game week, I'm tempted.
All right. Next up, Watford.
Dennis King, done. Next.
Done? Has he moved from little Jimmy Dunn? Has he moved from Burnley?
No, he's in the Championship. Jimmy Dunn now. I think he's at QPR or somewhere, isn't he? Yeah, we all remember little Jimmy Dunn.
Look at old Dennis sat there with 92 points, nearly 30 more than anybody else for Watford. Incredible.
He's created more chances than anybody else in the whole of the Premier League this season.
He came off at half time, didn't he, in their last game? Though was that an injury? Do we know?
No. There was talk about him like being unhappy about not going to go to the African Cup of Nations as well, because Watford blocked that, didn't they, due to technicalities and stuff. But we'll see what happens with him.
If he's happy, he's got to be in your team.
We've got 15 seconds to talk about West Ham and Wolves. So let me just... Bowen. Everyone's on board. Bowen.
Souček, he's back. The run he's just started is going to go on for a good month at least.
One very quick differential, boys. Lanzini. 0.8% ownership.
Played very well against Palace.
How much is he? And he's obviously on pens.
5.8, mate.
That does seem like a good call. Now he's getting a run because he wasn't getting played. So.
Norwich and Leeds, the next two at home as well.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, one swallow doesn't make a summer, Anthony. He's only double-digit hauled once this season. In fact, he's only got more than 4 points twice this season, 9 and 15 in game weeks 15 and 21 respectively. But yeah, I like Lanzini. 5.8.
Do like swallows. Ant, what's your favourite bird?
Okay. This is random when we're stuck for time. What about kingfisher?
Kingfisher's a lovely choice. That's a lovely choice.
Thank you.
Probably penguin for me. Okay, next. I like both their cuteness and their chocolate. Yeah.
Just for your reference, emu, but specifically the one that was paired with Rod Hull.
The one who had Rod Hull up his backside. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And finally, to finish, 1 minute over. But we better just quickly say, well done, Wolves. Great result up at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Any picks here? Sarr is 88 points. He's their top scorer.
Injured, isn't he? Still. Well, why has he not been playing? Oh, Sarr the keeper. Sorry, I was thinking of Wolves.
Not Sarr the striker at Watford.
Watford. That's what I was thinking.
The keeper at Wolves.
Sorry, I lost my head at Swallows. Okay. Wolves.
Conor Cody would be me. Conor Cody. 3 clean sheets on the trot for Wolves. They are pretty tight defensively.
Daniel Podence. He is a classic trap, but he looked really good in that game.
He's also a dwarf.
Okay.
So Daniel the dwarf Podence.
Perfect.
We want to
is it a dwarf or a midget? Which is the most appropriate?
I don't think any are appropriate, and I also can't edit this out. So
dwarf or midget? Let me just check.
Well, good news. We're 2 minutes over now. While he googles dwarf and midget.
Jimenez. What's your view on Jimenez, Ant? Because you've gone for him a few times, haven't you?
He's a bit quiet, shall we say, boys. Not really recovered from getting sent off at Man City, so be a no for me. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, that moment.
So I was right. Midget is now rarely used and is considered offensive, whereas dwarf comes from the disease dwarfism. So that's perfectly acceptable. So Daniel the dwarf Podence it is. That's fine. We're all good. We're all good there.
Okay. Good. Well, thanks for giving it up, Mike.
Good to be back.
It became less comprehensive as the time went on, but there's our half-term review, lads.
Some things don't change, do they, boys?
Favourite small thing, Mike?
Favourite small thing?
Yeah.
Midget gems.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I now call them dwarf gems because I find midget gems a bit of an offensive term.
Oh, how woke!
Okay, I still don't know what that means. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the FA Cup. We'll be back with a preview podcast next week. Sorry this has been so raw and that you had to listen to Mike Googling. I hope you have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Goodbye now. Cheery bye.